businesses or companies that are owned by families, what challenges they meet. Poor corporate governance, succession plan and inheritance. The founder syndrome, sibling rivalry. How do you run the business ethically and morally? Mixing business decision making with personal family issues and resistance to change. Hello, welcome to the Elly Twineyo Show again. This is the part of the series where we are looking at SMEs, small businesses that survive or the challenges that would meet, how even they get money. But in this part, I'm looking at family businesses. We know globally, the whole world, that more than 80% of all the businesses are family businesses. You can talk of even the biggest businesses that we know of. You can talk at even Walmart in the USA. You can talk about Amazon, Jeff Bezos. You can talk about most brands. You can talk about perfume brands. You can talk about designer houses brands. They are normally family businesses. And they are doing a good job, and they are doing a great job. But when you come to India, India has got the greatest number of businesses as family businesses. It's literally like everywhere you go in India is a family business. But not only have they kept in India, the Indians have also moved out of India and moved to the US, moved to Canada, moved to UK, moved to United Arab Emirates, UAE, in Dubai mainly, moved to Africa, in South Africa, in other African countries, in West Africa, in East Africa. The Indian families have moved with their businesses and are doing businesses as families. And there are a lot of achievements. So literally in the world, you are consuming around 80% of products that are produced or that come from businesses or companies that are owned by families. And this is the very reason why we need to talk about what challenges they meet. What are the issues? How could they be addressed? One of the issues that family-owned businesses face is the issue of succession plan and inheritance. You have heard of businesses, you hear somebody tell you, I am a third generation owner of this company. I am a second generation owner of this company. It means that the one who started the company was the first generation. And therefore the company is going through stages of different family members. Given the years, given that as human beings we grow, do business and die, or leave this world, go to another planet, we go to another spaceship. So our children have to inherit and run these businesses. We have found out that most businesses, family businesses, lack a succession plan and inheritance system. So when the founder dies, there is bound to be a challenge on how to run it. There is bound to be a challenge on who becomes the leader of this business. And then if you imagine that every family has got different children, sometimes children of different mothers, sometimes children living in different countries. Sometimes you find that somebody has a company in India or Canada, but has other parts of his family living in India or USA or UK. So when the founder dies, there is a challenge with the succession plan and inheritance. And I advise, if you are in a family business, please, it is never too late to do the succession planning and inheritance, so that when you leave this world, you don't want your business to go follow you, to die with you. Another issue that is important that I find family businesses facing, is a big issue, is the founder syndrome. The founder syndrome and resistance to change. When the founder started his business or her business, conditions were different. As we go ahead, time changes, and the times have changed. If you started a company 80 years ago, things have changed. You started a company when you were mainly using landlines, but now we are using cell phones. Other people call it mobile phones. I don't know why they call it mobile phones. Is it because you move with them, they are mobile? They are cell phones. When you founded a company 80 years ago, 80 years ago, there was no digital marketing. We didn't have virtual shops where you can sell all your businesses online. But you should know that these days, Amazon was founded and started and still a company which only is a virtual shop. It was established to sell online, sell virtually, to be a virtual shop, not having a physical premise. So conditions have changed, but you find that the founder is still resisting to change with the changing times. The way we were doing business 80 years ago is different from the way we are doing businesses now. That even when the founder is frail, the founder still is resisting to allow changes, especially digital platforms, digital media, digital marketing, e-commerce, virtual shop, and all these good websites, dynamic websites, selling online. And this will affect the business because you cannot remain conservative and in a dynamic and changing world and you do business. You could have been successful that time, but you will collapse now because things are changing. The other factor or the other key issue that I find affecting family businesses is what we call unresolved conflict. Sometimes what we look at specifically as sibling rivalry. Sibling rivalry. And you know, siblings always have that rivalry. At times it is uncalled for. At times it is based on their age. At times it is based on who is the firstborn and who is the secondborn or the lastborn. There is always that sibling rivalry. And because this is a family business, there is a tendency to bring in their unresolved conflicts, their sibling rivalry into the business, and will obviously affect the performance of the business. If there are two brothers and they are always fighting in this business, they are bound to let the business down. If they don't agree on the way to do it well together, they bring business down. And I can tell you, even in India, where most businesses are family-owned and have survived in Mumbai, in Delhi, in Kolkata and all these other places, I have found family businesses. Even then, I have found some challenges in Kolkata, sibling rivalry, some businesses in Mumbai, some sibling rivalry affecting business in Delhi, which is also one of the biggest cities in India, sibling rivalry, unresolved conflict among family members affecting business. And if we are not careful, it will bring down business to the base. Another aspect, another issue that family businesses have to look at and have to address is the issue of reluctant next generation, disinterested next generation. That the next generation, who would now be the next generation of owners of these businesses that the parents established, are not interested. They are not interested. They have even different approaches to life. They have different interests. They don't want even to be running the business. They don't want to be in this business. They actually have other plans. Some of them, they even want to migrate to other countries. They don't even want to live in the place where the business is. I know very well, at one time, some family, they had a business and business and even land. And when they told the parents invited, I use the word invited children back from the countries where they are living now, he said, come and begin managing your estate. Come and begin managing your parents' business. They said, you know that? Sell the business and put money on my account. They gave them the account number. I said, our account number in the States is this one. Deposit the money. Of course, the parents were not happy because they had wanted the next generation to run on with this business. They were not interested. The other challenge I have seen in different places, and it is not only in developing countries, it is not only in Africa and Asia, it is also in UK, it is also in USA, in the US, it is also in Canada. At least in those places, I have seen it, is the issue of mixing business decision-making with personal family issues. Even if or while it is a business, and it is your business and you are the family, you need to separate personal family issues from the business decision-making. So sometimes, and I have seen it, then you find that maybe the man, the founder is a good decision-maker and has been running this business very well. And then the partner, his wife, for example, comes in and wants to influence the business decision-making. When sometimes this spouse is not a good business decision maker. This man, the owner of the business, did not marry this lady so that they run the business. He married this lady so that they run the family. So you need to separate that, because when you fail and you mix business decision making with family personal issues, and sometimes the woman wants to bring in her views and run the business, but she's not been in the part of business, it is bound to affect business. And I have seen it happening in businesses, family businesses, and some have collapsed because of that issue. The other aspect also that we should look at is the issue of poor corporate governance. You know, in businesses, there's what we call corporate governance. How do you manage the business? How do you run the business ethically and morally? The tendency for family businesses is to engage in nepotism and hiring relatives, and relatives who are, in most cases, are not the experts, are not the serious professionals. You have to be careful. You have to stop this. There could be other things to look at, but I look at only this one. And this one I'm looking at, and which should be the last one, is the issue of your refusal for the family businesses to partner with non-family members. Even when non-family members have money, have technology, have specialization and specialisms and ideas. And that one, I have seen it in practice. I have seen it in practice. I have seen it in the businesses that I have been affiliated with, I have been associated with, whereby people say, no, I will not allow the non-family member to be a shareholder in my business. He will take my business. He will steal away my business. He will steal away my idea. And when you don't bring in outsiders to bring new ideas, to bring technology, to bring a specialization and specialisms and ideas and expertise, sometimes it brings you down. It brings you down, and some businesses have collapsed. Because when you get ideas from different places, this helps you. Ladies and gentlemen, family businesses are important in this world. Family businesses are serving us in this world. Family businesses can do a good job, but I advise you, don't mix family issues with business issues. I invite you to always watch our show every Friday. Thank you very much.